Well, first of all, just to complete the introduction, we are the only teacher training center specialized in foreign languages in Spain. I mean, so that's something to mention, okay? And, well, we are only Margarita and me here, but this section of the book has been written by all my team, all the team of the Teacher Training Center of Castilla y León. I don't know where they are right now. I mean, for example, Laura Benito is over there, and Gloria, well, Mariví and Laura, that are newcomers, but you know, but they have been collaborated. And of course, Mar, that is over there, is the teacher trainer, and she was the previous coordinator. You know, she did a great job coordinating the project, because we are the coordinating institution of it. You know, it means that we have had to work a lot in order to make everything go further. All right, with of course the collaboration of our partners. Okay, and Gloria and Marisa are they're over there. All right. Thank you. Okay, so you have to know that it's the result of teamwork. Okay. So Margarita.
Well, our presentation is divided in two parts. We are in charge of presenting you the job shadowing and virtual learning environment as training tools. So the first part of the presentation is going to be made by me, job shadowing as training tool, and the second part, the virtual learning environment, will be set by Javier. So this is also a part of the framework document, I mean a written part that you can see in detail. First of all, Maria introduced, well, the topic has been, the issue has been introduced all day in many different ways, because we are all related in the content and the development of the project. But maybe Maria introduced in more detail what I should have introduced previously. I'm going to talk about the structure, and Maria talk about the content in a more deeper way. So please, if you have any questions later, because the structure maybe can be complicated for you, I don't know, or very easy, but please ask, be free to ask. So job shadowing in the project, this project, I remind you, if you don't know that you know, it took time for 3 years. It has been 3 years project. So within the project, teachers have been the active part and essential part for all the projects, contents, development, modules, and everything. Maria talked about the training, and teachers were part of it. The job shadowing as such, the job shadowing training, or as a training tool, was specifically carried out in the second and third year of the project. So last year and this year, that is the third year. The project is going to end the 30th of September, so we are in the final part of the project. Keep calm and job shadowing. It was very interesting, this part. Job shadowing is a business term normally applied to, it started with, in the business world, it meant that you had a mentor. Well, there are several ways to say it, but normally is that you have a person that guides your observation, and you learn by seeing, by observing, by being in the shadow. In the field of education, it's not, well now, once we started the project, we see it's becoming quite popular, job shadowing. It's announced job shadowing many as courses and so on. But when we started, really, if I am wrong, you can tell me, but when we started, it wasn't that popular, so not many people used job shadowing as training. So in the field of education, it means mainly that in our case, in the project, we are observing among equals, between equals. We have the same level, we have the same jobs, but in different countries. So, I mean, it's not a student that observes someone in a high position. In our case, in the project, that makes it interesting. We job shadowed to another that it was like me, but in another country, with a different background, with a different culture, with a different language. In the case of the project, TC4PI project job shadowing, and I specify it because this TC4PI job shadowing is slightly and deeply different from other job shadowings in general. It allowed, among many other objectives, of course, more detailed objectives, but in general, it made reflect and learn from others. That's very important. It also allowed to share experiences with colleagues from other countries. It meant the review, the inside review and reflection over our teaching practice. Participated in wider community of teachers, and we'll go through it later, and a study, research from a comparative point of view, a comparative approach, how teachers' competences were in different countries when they went into the classroom. And then, of course, the research that was presented, the first presentation in the morning on plurilingual competences, which plurilingual competences teachers needed in other countries just to deal with their students and the languages present in the school. But what makes job shadowing TC4PI unique? Because it's ours, so that makes it unique. And it is the pencil, different from the other pencils, of course. What makes it unique? Well, there are, it's not the slide here, but there are several aspects. We have features, special features that made it special and unique. We have a structure. It was structured in a way that other job shadowings are not. It had very specific aims and objectives from the beginning that set all the structure, or that made planned all the structure. It had some elements that are unique because they were only seen in this job shadowing in the project. And then we had some kind of tools for many purposes, for evaluation, for training, for communicating, so on. You have, among the features, these are some of them. One of the main ones, so the main one for us as partners was the training tool. Job shadowing periods, as Maria explained very well, were considered training, not only exchange of experiences, but training itself. So the periods our teachers travelled had what Maria explained, some protocol and so on. Those were the elements. So allowed the partners and institutions to allow to evaluate and to go under training. It is an observation tool. Partners could observe through this job shadowing period. It was a dynamic process, and I'm talking in the past because this is the last job shadowing we are having. A protocol was made. The protocol is what Maria explained. We also made within the project a range of tools were created or used that were adapted to the ones we have, and then we had also a variety of education contexts and realities that we observed, and of course they had from a plurilingual and multicultural perspective. Of course, this job shadowing, that's why it is unique. It was a 3-year work plan for this project. More or less, it's quite, if you haven't been in the film, maybe it's quite a bit, but the job shadowing structure in the project as you see, had many different elements that were together, and the elements, activities. These were the ones Maria, for example, mentioned previously, the protocol, evaluation that Natalia talked about this morning, tools for evaluation, the portfolio that is part of the also the job shadowing training. Quite a big, a complete, consistent structure that I think it's going to be the best of the project, because it can be transferable to other contexts or realities that want to apply this. As a training tool, going with Maria's line again with the protocol, there was a job shadowing training specifically, which she talked about, where they observed. They also had training structure, the training modules Maria and Laura talked this morning, they created. Then there were other kinds of training, like seminars or workshops, also called, for example, post-job shadowing. They came to the countries and they had other different training. It was the post-job shadowing training. So as you see, many elements, many people, quite a complex structure of job shadowing. How to design? What we tried to do at the end of the project is to underline a transferable structure to any other institution or group of institutions that wanted to start a job shadowing in not a similar way, but with some kind, give some kind of clues for having a successful job shadowing. For example, the elements that we considered that should be important is choose, of course, the proper target groups or audience. What is the shadowing? It's not, of course, at the beginning I said, it's not the same if I'm a secretary and I need to know about administration, or if I am a language teacher. So what do we want to train through job shadowing? Then decide what to evaluate, how to design the tools of evaluation. What do you want to observe during the job shadowing? Natalia talked for evaluation, degree of satisfaction, level of achievement, so on, and many other indicators that can be varied from one. In fact, Natalia, I don't know if you mentioned in the morning, evaluation was adapted every training. I mean, there wasn't evaluation for the whole job shadowing period, but always adapted to what we needed to observe or to evaluate. We have to design the activities. This is the protocol Maria said, before and during. Design the portfolio. Every teacher, host teacher, traveling teacher had a portfolio with all the information, what to observe, a guideline, and so on. Design the steps and the phases of the job shadowing. And then design the working environment among the participants in the job shadowing. And from the job shadowing, well, one of the main tools we used was the virtual learning environment that Javier is going to present, that had very peculiar
was a very
features.
useful tool. Of course, we have a problem in this project, if we can say a problem, no? That is the distance. Of course, we can't have meetings every single month or every single week from people from Lithuania, from Poland, the Czech Republic. That's why we have to break those barriers, those frontiers, with online resources. Okay, we could have done it with other means, but in this moment we decided to do it with a web page, with our web page, the web page of the Teacher Training Center. Okay. In this web page, we have the possibility in Castilla y León, all the teacher training, all the schools in Castilla y León, in fact, have this service, of having a web page with, in which we can classify different groups, okay? And this is a very safe environment. Everybody, I mean, we can give access to specific people with information that they have, with a concrete password, okay? So we use this tool in order to avoid and to have to avoid the difficulties of course of the distance, and to have a common working environment. Okay, that's why we call it a virtual learning environment. In this case, we decided to create 3 groups. One of them was only for the project managers, okay, so that we could exchange information, we could have access to documents, to common documents, you know, and to have a common core. Also, during the way, we also use Google Drive in order to upload documents and to share documents. Okay, so not only we use the virtual learning environment, but that was a decision that we did in the way. Secondly, we created another group that was specifically for teachers, pre-service teachers, and for teacher trainers. Okay. And this was a way of communication between among all the different job shadowers. Okay, they could just get in touch, send emails directly, or send group messages. Okay, so it was a very efficient way of communication, I believe. And finally, we created another group that was for all the network of the schools. This means that all the teachers that maybe didn't participate directly in the program, but that were affected by it, you know, they were all listed and could have access to the documents and all the materials that we were sharing, okay? So these were the 3 groups that we created in order for everybody to have the information about the project, okay? Especially important was the one for job shadowers and for teachers and for all the people that were involved in the project, okay? Because we use it as in a very important way as a training tool. Okay, now job shadowers are going to tell us later about their experience, but for instance, before they had these job shadowing meetings, they could have the presentations that the teachers from other countries were going to have in their schools, so the host teachers could know what they were going to explain. They could come to an agreement of what type of methodology they were going to use, what kind of projects they were going to expose in the schools. Okay, so that was some kind of a pre-meeting of this job shadowing. Okay, so that's why it was a training tool, because they were, you know, adapting methodologies to implement and to promote plurilingualism. Okay. And also we use it as a training tool, in fact, for blended courses, okay? Because we even organize a blended course with face-to-face sessions and also online platforms, okay? So it was like some kind of a 30-hour course, you know, with face-to-face sessions and online platform, okay? And of course, it's a very great tool for communication among all the members taking part in the project, and it allowed teachers and coordinators to interact and share contents achieving the same goals. All right, the job shadowers can tell me if it worked. You know, do you remember that period? Now that we have the job shadowers over here, you were sending the presentation. You know, so. That was a very efficient tool just for communication. Okay. Sorry. And now we can see the results of all this work. It's like TC4PI in figures. Okay. It's like some kind of conclusion of all the teachers and all the people that were affected by this project involving VLE and all the different aspects of the project. We can see that in Spain, we have in the network of schools 5 schools, in Lithuania 7, in the Czech Republic 2, in Poland 6, and Turkey was the one that gave us most, 28 campuses in Istanbul and 20 campuses in Turkey. Then future teachers, for example, there were 50 students in pre-service students. In Spain, 20 in Lithuania and 30 in the Czech Republic. And the students, the primary, secondary students affected were 3,288 in Spain, 1,080 in Czech Republic, 400 in Poland, 3,000 in Turkey, 2,300 in Lithuania. And the number of teachers, involved in the project, 44 in Spain, 8 in Czech Republic, 8 in Poland. Okay, so this means all these figures mean, you know, that the aftermath of this project, the work that we have been doing, you know, is going to have a great scope. Okay, and the idea is that all the teachers involved in this project, you know, are going to form and train students and also their peers in their schools. Okay, so. For example, just another example of the figures is the job shadowing or peer observation period. So in the first job shadowing, 8 teachers participated. Okay, the second one was under 8, third job shadowing 8, fourth job shadowing 10, and finally in Valladolid right now we have 11 job shadowers, the top figure. Okay, so. And we also consider that it was essential not only just with the new means of communication, not only to have a virtual learning environment, which is, you know, something private, maybe just for us to work as a group. It was better just to promote everything that we were doing, because not only we were doing a great job, but we had to show it, not only in the final conference as this one, but also with the means that we have now, right now, with the new means of technology. Of course, we have our Twitter account, TC4PI, Facebook, YouTube, we also created a blog, and of course, we have a web page. I don't know if we have the link. Yeah, okay. Because you can say, well, okay, we're going to finish the final conference, and where do I find information about this project? Okay, we have a web page, a very well structured web page. I don't know if the internet connection is working now. Okay, now we have it. Okay, so this is our web page. So every single question that you have, or every single doubt that you might have about the project, you can resolve it just going to our web page, in which we have all the philosophy of it, the different meetings. You also have access to the YouTube channel, in which we have many different videos about the job shadowing events that we have had. Okay, so I mean, not only just I mean, the idea is that we don't only have information in this final conference, but we can add some more information, because there are very many educational videos related to it, and you have access to them in the web page. Okay, you just type TC4PI and it's the first one. Okay, so thank you very much.